Hey guys, how's it going? Meddler here. Just wanted to make a quick intro video for my channel since I've gotten a handful of subscribers so far, and just wanted to let everybody know kind of what they can expect and a little bit about me, and hopefully this gives people a reason to follow my channel and not a reason to unsubscribe from my channel. We'll see. But my plans for the channel, well, a little about me first. I've been picking for since May of this year. How that all started is actually a few years ago for Christmas, my wife got me one of those Goso pick sets from Amazon and one of the acrylic locks, the acrylic practice locks, and I had some fun with that. I thought it was pretty neat and played around with it, got pretty good at that acrylic lock. Not that those are super hard to get good at, and kind of got a feel for it. But then it kind of died off there and I never really picked it up. I grabbed this Master number 3 when I got, after I got good at the acrylic lock, and I could never really open it up, never put too much effort into it either. And then just a couple months ago in May, I was out visiting with my in-laws, and I had locked all of they had those interior doors with just the locks that you twist to lock. They don't have a keyway, just the little flat keys that you stick in and just twist it, and you could open them with a bobby pin or anything that'll fit inside the hole. Had locked all those up, and we had to credit card the doors open, and I was telling my father-in-law, I said, well, if I have my pick set here, I bet one of my picks would fit inside that hole and open it right up for you guys. And he started asking about that, and he had actually told me that he did it a little bit earlier on in life, and I got talking about it and was like, I need to pull that set out and play around with it. So a couple days later, I pulled my lock picks out and my Master number 3 and said, I'm gonna give this a try. And so I started playing around with it, and within 5 minutes I had this thing open. And the rush that I got when I got that thing open was just awesome. I was like, oh man, this is why people do this. This is fun. So that quickly evolved into, as you can see, a pretty a growing collection of all sorts of locks. I've placed a handful of orders with lock picking companies. I've really liked Sparrow's lock picks so far, and so I've got a handful of their stuff. And yeah, I've been playing around with the lock picks every day since then. I don't think I've gone a single day without at least trying to open a lock. I've definitely gone days without successfully opening locks. So I really only started putting these videos on YouTube for the belt requirements, because, you know, everybody cares so much about Reddit flair. So I had to cash in on that too. So I put up my green belt request on there, and been talking to several members of the community and had a handful of people follow. So I figured, what the heck, let's start throwing some videos up and just see where this goes. So that's what I'm doing here. Hopefully I can keep it up and stick with it. I'm definitely sticking with lock picking. I don't see myself leaving that anytime soon, but hopefully I can stick with making YouTube videos and putting them up for people to see, and hopefully people enjoy watching them. So kind of my hopes and dreams for my channel, I definitely don't have the time to put several videos up a week. Some of you guys put up quite a few videos, and I can't keep up that pace right now. But I'm hoping to try and get a video once a week or once every other week at the latest. With one upcoming exception that could definitely put a damper on that for a few weeks is my wife and I are having a baby within the next 2 weeks. So that may slow things down a little bit, but it's exciting news for us. It'll be our second. We've got a 2-year-old, almost 3-year-old boy, and we've got a girl coming. So we're really excited and looking forward to having her here with us. I may try and pre-record 1 or 2 videos to fill in that gap. We'll see if I get around to it between now and the first week of August. So yeah, and that's kind of what I'm hoping to do with my channel. I am very new at this. I don't know what I'm doing. So if you want a channel where you get the best advice and watch a pro picking the toughest locks in the world, this isn't it. But if you want to watch somebody learning and struggling through it, I don't really plan on editing out too many of my failures or struggles. I kind of want to show those and show my journey through this. So that's what I want to make this channel. It's not going to be this perfectly curated channel of only the perfect picks. I want to show the actual struggles of learning how to pick some of these tougher locks as I move on to something a little harder than an 1100. So that's what I'm planning on doing. If that appeals to you, awesome, subscribe. If not, then I totally get it, and you're free to use your subs wherever you want. I wanted to also show off just a little bit of my collection that I've got so far. Every single lock in front of the camera here has been single pin picked at least once. Obviously started with some of these cheaper locks, this Master number 3, a couple of the Master 140s. These are my favorite locks to play with when I want to get some practice on standard pins. I've really liked playing with those quite a bit. I kind of hate picking this Master number 3. The feedback it gives is terrible, and I actually kind of struggle with this. I can get an open on the 140s easier than the number 3 for some reason. I know some people get through these like cake. I don't know if it's the particular bitting on my lock or the feedback or something with springs or what. This is just a cheap 45 millimeter lock that came from, I got it from a family member actually, and it seems to, it's got a sticker that says thanks for storing with us. So this must have come from a storage unit that they rented years ago. He said he's had it for probably 20 years or so. He lost the key, and so he gave it to me to play with. This thing is insanely easy to rake open. You put a rake on it and it pops open for you. Try and get, there we go. So yeah, pretty easy to rake open. It's lots of fun. After some of these more basic locks, I moved on to the Abus 5540 to start playing around with spools. I really liked this lock quite a bit. This one's kind of interesting because the bitting on it is pretty bad as far as bitting goes. Fairly even bitting for the most part, all really low cuts, or really high cuts, I mean. And so what that's done that's interesting is with this one, I put a city rake in it and I barely even have to rock it. You just gotta get it in the right spot and that thing pops open like nothing. I don't know if that's a common occurrence with the 5540s or if it's just mine and the pitting that I've got, but it's kind of interesting. Anytime somebody wants to see my magical mad lock picking skills that I totally have, those are the first ones I show, just to show how easy some cheaper, simpler locks can be. From that family member that gave me this cheaper lock, he had a couple of these gun locks that the child safe locks that you put through the guns, and these are also super duper easy to rake or pick. They're pretty cheap on the inside. Talking to somebody that I know that actually plays with guns a little bit more, he said that those come free with most guns, so that, I guess you get what you pay for. These are my 3 American 1100s that I've got. Been playing a lot with those, getting better at that. The serrated pins and the mix of serrated and spools on those makes them a lot of fun. At least I think there's some spools in at least these two. I'm not sure that this green one has any spools, but the blue and yellow ones definitely do. And then if anybody watched my Greenbelt video, they might recognize this bag of junk. This is my Aba 7240 that I bought. I bricked that lock, lost one of the springs, and so it's now a bag of spare parts. And I got this 7240 to replace it from Flebron in the community. I gave him a shout out in that other video, but I actually want to make a video specifically about this. There's something interesting about that lock I want to make a future video on, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, that's my channel, kind of what I want to do with it, some of the locks that I've got. I'd like to sometime in the next month or so. Oh, I also wanted to show, I've got 3 of these Schlage keyways that I want to do something with. I haven't even bothered taking the time to pick these open yet or anything. I've had them laying around. I'll figure something out to do with them. Thought about using 1 or 2 of them to make some challenge locks and get those out. So I don't really have a Dremel or the files for that yet. So we'll see if I get around to that anytime soon. But yeah, stick around and see what else I put up. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna put up yet either. So, but thanks everybody who has subscribed so far, and anybody who wants to follow me. I've said this before, but I've really appreciated this community. It's definitely been the most welcoming community that I've been a part of. I've been into board games, video games, and all sorts of other things, and this is definitely the least toxic community that I've joined. It's sad that that's the way I say it. No, it's actually a really great community. There's not much toxicity or negativity at all. So it's pretty sweet to feel welcome as a newbie like me and be able to ask questions. And I've never not gotten an answer through at least one channel that I've asked questions in. So thanks everybody for your support, and everybody have a great day, great weekend, whenever you watch this, whatever. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot.